I found that this is a perfect science, to say the least, that it's not only a predictive science, Somdutta. That's why everybody believes that it's a predictive science. Let me go back even 150 years ago. Now, if you go 150 years ago, astrology was not meant for a common man. It was usually done for the Rajas and the Maharajas, the kings and the queens, because this was more tailored towards the welfare of the kingdom, to see if there is going to be a famine, a drought, if there is any threat based on the planetary transitions and the dashas of the king, to check whether there will be an enemy attacking them, or is there going to be how is the well-being, is there going to be an epidemic. So they used to divine for the kings and for the kingdom. It was not particularly meant for the common man. Now what has happened in the last 50 years is it's become a predictive science. Astrology has never been a predictive science. It was only meant for the kings and the queens because of the mundane side of things, which can predict many things for you. But if I want to say, when it came to Jataka based astrology, which means personal astrology, it was more relevant to people who it was more tailored towards becoming a self-corrective science rather than a predictive science. It's understanding your karmas and what's the plan of God, and then to align your actions based on what your karmas are divining for you. So leading to this fascination is what I came, from my corporate background. I then delve into astrology, and that too, the last couple of years I'm doing my research and I'm teaching, and I do consultations as well.
Wow, you just intrigued my interest into a certain aspect, and you also covered my next question, which I was going to ask, what is astrology? But you gave a backstory. I'm sure many people don't know that it is not a predictive science. And people think about, right, will I get this? Will I get that? So it's a complete. I mean, you just gave the answer to certain questions which was going on in my mind. But now let's coming back to this aspect. What is the difference between, or is there a difference between astrology and Vedic astrology?
See, the difference that I have come across in astrology and the Vedic side. Why we say it Vedic? It comes from the Vedas. It is on the basis of Vedanga. This is called as a Vedanga Jyotisha because it is one of the limbs of the Vedas. This form of astrology that we are following. Now, what is the major difference that you see here in the Vedic? What we call as Jyotisha, Jyotir Isha. Jyotir means it's a light. So this is a science of the light. It is to guide you. It is to put you onto the right path. Because see, we have four majorly paths that have been defined. Like I always say to my clients, our life is like a river. And all rivers on this planet which flows has only one destination. And the final destination is the ocean. Similarly, every Atma here has only one final destination, that is to go and merge with the Paramatma. That is the big ocean. Once you have merged with the Paramatma, there is no distinguishing that, oh, this is this river or that river. Because once you have merged with the Paramatma or with the ocean, you become one with it. So you cannot distinguish that this is it. But what choices we have is how we flow. So we can really choose to flow through the beautiful valleys, forest, and different. That is your choice. So that is what got me into astrology, is to see how much of it is destiny, how much of it is fate, and how much of it is our free will. Because we have a choice to flow with a particular resonance. And if you flow with a higher conscious resonance, then you are more in tune, you're more conditioned to be more successful in life, or try to find happiness in everything that you do. Because we all know our final destination where we have to reach. But what is more important in this journey is the means to get there. So you can take a boat to get there, you can take an aircraft to get there, or you can use a bullock cart, or you can use a car, you can use a cycle, whatever is your means, because everybody has its own mount. Like you see, every devata has been given an animal associated with them, because that is the instinct of the devata. You see, Shiva has been given a Nandi, which is the bull. Parvati is given a lion or sometimes a tiger. Ganesh ji is been given a mouse, and their other son Kartikeya is given a peacock. So that means, do you mean to say that their journeys are different? But you look at it, think about it. When you look at the Shiva Parivar as one family together, if I tell to the husband, which is Shiva, Shiva is the husband, if I tell that your mount is a bull and the wife's mount is a lion, in nature, do you think they are compatible with each other? They're not compatible. A bull and a lion. Now, if I tell Shiva has a serpent around his neck, which is Vasuki. Now, if I tell to the serpent that you are the father, and if I tell to the mouse, which is the mount of Ganeshji, that you are the son, will they be compatible in real life? Will a snake or a serpent and a mouse be compatible? No. Look at the vehicle of Kartikeya, which is a peacock. Now, if I tell to the peacock you are the son, and I tell to the serpent you are the father, do you think they will be compatible with each other, the peacock and the... Because this peacock holds the serpents in its feet. So if you really see the Shiva Parivar, that means they have a lot of differences. The husband and wife, the father and the sons, they all have, because their mount is different, but they come together and they unify and they live happily under the same roof as one Parivar, is because we might all have differences between each of us, the father and son, mother and daughter, husband and wife, brothers and sisters. Because why do we have conflicts with them? Is because we are not able to recognize their mount and their purpose in life. So you might be a lion and you like to eat non-vegetarian, but somebody else is a bull who likes to eat grass. But we try to say that, oh, because you're eating grass, you might be very weak. And because I eat a lot of meat, I'm very strong. See, these are all biases we're creating. So this is a science for you to recognize each other and to look at each other as, oh, you have a journey, I appreciate your journey of life here. And please appreciate my journey of life. We might not have a lot of commonalities between us, but mutual respect and tolerance to each other is what this science teaches us. That is what, it is a light. We are walking on a path. Wow. That is what astrology is all about.
I have never heard somebody break it down and explain this concept of the family or the acceptance of the different natures of people around us in such a simplest manner. So thank you for sharing that. I think that has given all our listeners a beautiful perspective and a simple way to understand the complexities of life. Typically in a family, in an environment where people are ready to, cut down each other. So thank you for sharing that, Doctor. So now coming to the aspect, you mentioned one line particularly, that we all know that we have to move towards the ocean. Now here, I will put out a very basic question, which is related to our general life, okay, day-to-day life and the common man. When I say the common man, I'm talking about the majority of the population. So if you just look around, so many people are facing or suffering, going through miseries, and they are lost. They don't know what to do. Some people who have the realization that they need to go and mix with the ocean, but what about the majority of the people who are going through suffering again and again, and they have no clue what life is about, what needs to be done, and where is the life going, what next? If you ask them what you want to do in life, they said, Kal bill bharna hai, and I need to do this, I need to achieve this goal, and that's done. So in that aspect, can you shed some light as to how can a common man who does not understand these technicalities can actually look at life and, first of all, understand life and experience it?
See, I once remember a very senior astrologer say this in a forum. He said there are only 3 reasons why somebody goes to see an astrologer. And there is no 4th reason. There are only 3 reasons. And everything boils down towards this. And that will probably answer your question. So, the first reason why we go to see an astrologer is because it's the fears and the phobias of our past. What is trying to haunt us? It might be our experiences, which is haunting us. It bogs you down, where they're saying that certain failures have happened, certain things didn't go as per you. So it could be certain patterns and impressions, what we call as vasanas or sanskaras, which we are holding into our system, maybe from this life and the past of this life, or because we have a pre-programmed disk which is given to us, which is the brain. That is a chip which is inserted into us, which has certain pre-programs. Now, these pre-programs are not only because of your impulses and your impetus, which comes from this lifetime. It comes from your experiences and patterns that you have observed and what you have gone through to multiple lifetimes. That is one of the crux of Jyotisha, which is Vedic astrology, in comparison to other forms of astrology, because our form of astrology believes in rebirth and reincarnation and past life and karmas. The word karma can only be accepted in the context of Jyotish. So the first reason the astrologer said is the fears, the phobias, and certain patterns of our past.